convinced first. Yeah, you have to be convinced and about it. So conviction precedes commitment. Conviction precedes commitment. So there's not until somebody get committed and the person is not already convinced, already doubting. So it's a big problem. Part two, and today is already 9. That's a whole lot. 9 of 2026. Okay, so conviction shapes belief, commitment shapes behavior. Okay, conviction shapes belief. Okay, commitment shapes our behavior. So the way I behave, the way you behave is done by the things we believe. Because beliefs controls behavior. So the way I believe, what I believe determines what I do. Okay, so we have about 5 outlines for entrepreneurs, businessmen, and investors. So the first one is context for the concept. So, okay. Number 2 outline we have conviction precedes commitment. Conviction, okay, precedes commitment. A man cannot be committed to anything for a long time if he's not convinced that thing about that thing. So doubt about God's will close heaven. Doubt, okay, about God's will, okay, closes heaven over somebody's life. If you keep doubting, okay, close heaven. Let's do this there. Okay. Number 4, second to the last outline. God can versus God's will. So God can do certain things. Nobody have issue about that. The time we have that, will God actually do it for me? Is it the will of God for my life? For me to be prosperous, of course, wealthy, successful. So you have to settle the will of God for you. So settling, okay, I'll help you today. So the will of God for you. Because if you know that is the will of God for me, you don't have to be doubting whether you will succeed or not. So we already done a lot yesterday. We started yesterday class to talk to us about context for the concept, and we made a bold statement yesterday that this particular training is to resolve a critical internal conflict many entrepreneurs experience about abundance, life, prosperity, economic authority. Is it truly the will of God for me? So we are not just mainly talking about money today. Today is not about class, about money. We talk about money, investment, leverage, strategy, goals, leadership. We talk about that. This particular training is to resolve about handing over the power back to you about economic capacity and leadership. It's about handling the economic authority, ability to make decisions, and economic legacy. So, and it's about doing that already. Okay. Perfect. 1 minute. Okay. Perfect. Good. Okay. Okay. So it's about handling those resistance, those doubts. So it's common question many entrepreneurs ask that they wrestle with all the time. Should I aspire to be rich and wealthy? Is it possible to be rich and righteous at the same time? Is it possible to be prosperous and pious? Of course, is it possible to is abundance compatible with holiness? So it's actually going to answer at the center of these trainings. Will answer all these issues and all these questions because all of them anchor on one thing: is it the will of God for me? So, question I want to ask you: why do God's will really matter? It really matters because if you never believe that is God's will for you, if you're never convinced and convicted, you will never be committed to it. That's why we do 5 business in a year. At the end of the day, they succeed in none of them. Why does God will matter? It matters because it's going to resolve doubt that will eventually close heavens over your life. So if you resolve doubt will no more be a problem because you will now believe that you can never follow through God's plan if you are not convinced about His purpose. You will now follow God's way. You are not convinced about His God's will. So if God's will is clear, the way will always appear. Because when there is a will, there must be a way. So many people don't understand that the reason why they are doubting is because of the philosophies, the ideologies they learn from families and friends. So yesterday we discussed so much, and we went to talk about outline number 2. Conviction precedes commitment. It happens before you get commitment. Just when you be a millionaire, inside the training of being a millionaire, let's say you quit. Because inside his house, he has internal conflict. He's fighting with himself, with economic capacity, leadership, economic authority, ability to make decisions, economic legacy. Then you can create legacy for your children. Children say, forget about it. I'm currently begin to define himself based on his current circumstances. We are poor, we are broke, things are hard, economy is difficult. So the more you begin to challenge yourself like that, you begin to have to develop internal conflict. You keep fighting, and there's no limit to this thing. So yes, we started to talk about people's commitment to God's way are first convinced about his God's will. Anybody that is committed to doing any particular thing, tailoring, fishing, businesses, selling ideas, selling opportunity, knowledge, finding solutions to problems, is that we already believe that God will actually do it. So yesterday we also discussed that if you are unsure whether God wants something for you, you will never pursue it fully. So you are not sure that this is the will of God for my life. Your commitment will be, you can never give your full attention. So lack of conviction precedes hesitation, inconsistency, and spiritual paralysis. So faith does not function where the will of God is unclear. So we ended yesterday class around when I begin to mention about Hebrews 11 verse 6. Just to, of course, to soft agree, Hebrews 11 verse 6 says that without faith, it is impossible. It is impossible to please him. For whoever comes to God must believe that he is the rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So without faith, you cannot please God. You can never please God. So, and then yes, to also make a commitment like conviction is the why, and that's internal, and commitment is the standard, the proof that you are convinced. We see in what you do. Conviction shape beliefs, and commitment shape behavior. So the way you behave determines by the things you believe, because beliefs control behavior. So we'll be doing a lot of work here, but I wouldn't like to even clean this. I would like to do something we did yesterday, today again, so that we can make all references to it. So yesterday I decided to say that not all truth are truth, but all truth are true. So all truth are true. So it is true that nobody can walk on water. It is true. But Christ walked on water. That is the truth. It is true that the lion will eat Daniel. But it's truth. Lion did not eat Daniel. It is true. Fire will burn Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But it's truth. He will not burn them. That is so that not all true, not all facts are truth. So you are looking at facts like this. This is fact. This is fact. This is true. That things are hard economy. Every fact has positive and negative. So this is your big eyeballs, Okay, let me just do your face like this again, like I did yesterday. Your big eyeballs. So this is you. So you are beginning to look at the fact. So it's called focus, not focus. So if you are focusing on the negative, anything you focus creates beliefs, not belief. So you are focusing on positive things in your life. You need to ignore. It's going to create a belief called faith, not faith. Faith. If you're going to focus on negative things about your life, you're focusing on, you're going to create another belief called doubt, no doubt. So, and yesterday I tried to say something very important, that the difference between doubt and fear. Fear is that you are seeing a present danger. Doubt is that you are not seeing any present danger. Doubt is just a brain. You say, okay, snake. You are seeing, say, yeah, that's fear. Oh, fire. That is fear. Oh, something, you are seeing something, that is fear. But doubt, you don't see anything at all. You don't see anything at all. You just use your brain. They calculate all the bad things based on what you are focusing. So the Bible says that then that without faith, that means without you not looking at positive things in life, you can never please God. That doesn't mean that negative things doesn't happen. After all, it is fact that things are not going well, but it is truth that things will go well for you. Say amen. And now that's the truth. So because the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Not true, it's truth. So the truth is that you must focus on positive. The day you stop focusing on positive, that means you can't please God. You cannot receive anything from God. In fact, the day you begin to begin to look at positive and negative, you begin to that you're a double-minded person. Your double-minded person is that have that two. Is thinking two things. How do I put on my note? Let me see where I put it. So I can write this one. If I begin to proceed, write it on your note. Write it down. Let's start from there. So a double-minded mind. On outline number 2. Let's conclude on this outline number 2. Write it down. A double-minded mind. A double-minded individual. A double-minded individual is a person who believes that, oh, okay, I need to say something, but no problem, let's continue. A double-minded man is a person who believes that God can do something, but God will not do it for him. That's a double-minded person. A double-minded person that he believes that God can do something for him, but God will not do it for him. That's a double-minded person. He believes that God is the Almighty. He believes, but God will not do it for him. So you begin to define yourself. And what if God doesn't do it? What if I don't achieve my dreams? That's the double-minded person. So I even jumped to, I was skipping it, but no problem, we'll get to that. He believes that God can do it, but he need to look at negative things. That what if it doesn't happen to me? A double-minded person. He believes, in his beliefs, he believes that God can do it, but God will not. God can do, but God will not do. That's a double-minded person. So he begins to secretly doubt himself. And that's the problem. Okay, let's round up this particular. I need to go to where I'm going to, because I want you to know that never you doubt yourself. So, okay. So he believed that God exists, but God will not reward him. So God exists. So don't mind person believe that God exists. I believe in God. He's the Almighty, but his reward. Look at what the Bible says. It said that those that comes to him, it is impossible to please God. He said, without faith, it is impossible. Tell not impossible to please God. You cannot please God, because for whoever comes to God must believe that He is, and He is a rewarder. Tell not rewarder. You know, God will reward them. He say, no, I'm not going to do good thing. That God, I suspect. So he believes, he has confidence in God, but in God, you need knowledge to have belief. You don't need knowledge. You don't need knowledge to have belief. Oh, you don't need knowledge. So all you just is accept. Tell me, accept. A lot of people say, you say I will be a millionaire. What if I'm not a millionaire? What if I write these 20 contacts now? Nobody say yes. What if? What if? Faith say even if. Thou say what if? Then of faith says even if nobody succeeds, me I will succeed. Thou say what if? What if nobody succeeds? What if I don't succeed? What if? What if? So stop saying what if. That's why the three Hebrew men say even if God no deliver us, we will not say we will not go die. We know say God, even if any be, God will deliver us. Even if we no worry, we know saying go there. So what happens is this: fundamental faith is our faith that pleases God. The things that we think, the thing that we say, the thing that we do pleases God and give God pleasure. Once you keep believing the person happen to you, because your faith must believe that God exists. And secondly, you must believe that God is a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. So you don't just believe that God exists, also that God is a rewarder. That is why you have to keep doubt out of God's plan, because doubt, right? Under number 3, doubt about God will, that God of God, God's will close the heaven over that person. So doubt that God will not do it. You believe that God can. No, everybody believes that. But the problem is that people do believe that God will do it for them. So today I will show you practically the will of God for your life. So that as you go as an entrepreneur, your audacity, your courage, your faith will be high. So that you will not start, even though you set a 100 million naira for yourself this year to go into, and you already start beginning to find source of income. There are 4 major ways you can actually make money work for you. Number one, either you are selling products, you are selling services, you are solving problems, you are selling books, you are selling knowledge, you are selling, you're really creating, or you are sourcing, you're the middleman between the consumer and the producer. You already set a financial vehicle that you want to use and get to that. You already put your systems and structures and people. But now, as you're doing that thing now, they bounce come temporary defeat, and you're beginning to being distracted and lose focus. No, temporary defeat is not a permanent failure. So let's begin to look at doubt keeps you out. Doubt closes doubt about God closes heaven, and that keeps you out of God's plan for your life. So let me clean this one, because we'll be writing so much today on this. So that keeps you out of God's plan. So write it down on your note. Very important. If you don't make any statement today, write this one statement, and you'll be very happy that you came to this class today. You came to Millionaire School. Write it down. Doubt does not question. Doubt does not question God's power. Doubt does not question God's power. Doubt does not question God's power. Doubt does not God's power. Doubt it questions God's willingness. It questions God's willingness. That's what doubt is. Doubt is not, he said that is saying I know God can do it, but I'm not sure He will do it for me. Why? Faith puts you in God's realm where everything is possible. Write it down, you're not very important. Faith puts you in God's realm where everything is possible. And doubt locks you out of God's realm where everything is impossible. Faith puts you in God's realm where everything is possible. Doubt keeps you out of God's realm where everything is impossible. That's what faith does. It puts you in the realm where possibilities becomes your breakfast, where possible potentials, willingness of God, believe in economic potentials, economic capacity, economic legacy. You believe in leadership, but that to tell you, you are not good enough. You're from poor. But that being to remind you about limitations. Nobody succeeds in your family. Your family came when life hard. Poverty is your birthright. More from forget. So don't try it. That thing to make you feel less. That is called self-limiting beliefs. That is self-sabotaging beliefs. That doesn't make you feel confident. It eats your confidence. It takes your courage. You show up, you lack commitment. You just become weak, hopeless, and helpless at the same time. Doubt is very bad. Doubt is the reason why many people cannot receive anything from the Lord. Anything, not and it's impossible. So let's begin to look at somewhere I'm going today. I need to finish this class today. So on Monday I have nothing for us. So let's go to outline number 4. Outline number 4 says God can versus God will. So let me look at God can versus God's will. Let's begin to look at that. So that is that someone can sit down as an entrepreneur. We draw a plan, finish. How you can make 28 billion, how you can make 200 million, 1 billion, $1 billion, and you come out with you leave our circle, you come out, go to sit down, they ask yourself, what if this is not the real? What if not real? You say, what if it not happen? You gave mine, you don't write 20 contacts. 30 can say, okay. Now you can write them. You write and finish, you can say, what if nobody say yes? What if nobody say yes? That's the message. You gave mine. Your mind is strong. Your mind is strong. Maybe lie. Your mind is strong. So most entrepreneurs are struggling today because of God's will. They are just struggling because I'm not sure this is the will of God for me to be a millionaire, and the need to be. It's like that leopard that Christ asked him, say, if you will, he said, God, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. Jesus Christ responds and say, clarity, I will, be thou healed. That is in Matthew 8, of course, Matthew 8, 2 to 3. Matthew 8, 2 to 3. So the leper says, if it's I will, me, I can be clean. So God said, me, I will, that you can be clean. So this reveals that leper did not doubt about God's ability. He doubted about God's willingness. Jesus Christ did not correct the faith in power. He corrected the faith of his understanding of his will. So the missing component of faith often is not belief in God's power. It's in confidence in God's purpose for your life. So knowing what God wants for you, complete your faith. If you believe that God will do anything for you, then you'll be okay. Write it on the very well like this. If you don't believe that God can, if you believe that God can do something for you, if you believe that God can do something for you, but God will not do it for you. If you believe that God can do something for you, but God will not do it for you, you'll be unstable. You'll be unstable in the midst of challenges. If you believe that God can do something for you, but God will not do it for you, you'll be unstable in the midst of challenges, in the midst of adversity, tribulations, hostility, critics when they are coming to you. You believe that God can. Now you carry your hand right time now. We said it goes last year. Around October, November last year, we started talking about 2026. You say, okay, now plan for that year before we enter that year. Set a goal, paint a picture, use your mind, use imagination. We draw a concept, okay, no, we just go, put systems in place. No, you can become the right person. You need to do all those things. And you don't write. Now you can write 20 million, 100 million. Okay, we know just why. 7 things to do. To make sure you can, no one put a figure, put a deadline, put system, put this one, put account, put KPI. We write it. Then you write African, you don't pay the bill, you don't clear. It's now 100 million. You don't decide what you want to use the money to. Even when I put a statement, use positive affirmation, use repetition, induce faith, and you write and finish. We never even enter new year. You begin to say, oh, don't go January, me I want good. So now like this, we won't do this year. Today is about today is the 9th. He said, now wow, God, now like this, we won't carry us this year. Tomorrow now we don't want to. So you believe that God can do it, but the problem is that you don't believe that God will do it for you. So once you become unstable, of course, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of problems, persecution, hostility, adversity, tribulations, and there's a problem. So faith believes that God can and God will. But a double-minded person believes that God can do it and God will not do it for him. That is a double-minded person. Let's go to the last outline for it, because I really want to close this class and I will do something very interesting very soon so you can understand that there is no way to start thinking negative. Leave negative alone. Shift your focus from negative to positive, because the moment you need to see the positive about, I told you something. You can only see what you're looking for. Yesterday, I told you to look at the table. I say, how many phone is on the table now? All of you will see that it's one phone. Yes or yes? If I ask you now, how many black marker are there this table? You are not looking for black marker. You are not looking for. You're looking for phone. Use the phone. But black marker is two. If I ask you now, how many blue marker are there this table now? You are not looking for blue marker. How many marker are there blue table? Nobody knows because you're not looking for blue marker, but blue marker is just one. Have you seen that you cannot see what you are not looking for? You only see the things you are looking for. So if you need to look for bad things in a business, you will see it. If you don't look for it, you will not see it. You focus on positive, you will see positive. If you don't focus on negative, you only see positive. So you cannot see a good thing, a bad thing in your wife, in your husband, in your business. If you don't look at the bad things in your husband and your wife, you go to see them, see them, see them, see them, see them, see them. But if you don't look at that bad thing, you don't go see them. Okay, now question. How many yellow objects there this table? Now, don't look at the table. How many yellow objects there? Okay, because you saw it on the front. Okay, okay. Let me see something you cannot see. I will do something you cannot see now, so that you can tell me because you are not looking for it, you cannot see it. Okay. Okay. How many things is painted by blue? Painted by blue on this table now. You not see but two, one and two. You do not see these ones because you are not looking for it. You are looking for it, you leave where you are and begin to look for it here. Because you know when you begin to look for that yellow thing is not even one, it's two. It's two here, one, two. It's two, you see. So if you give somebody solution, poor man solution, you put solution, they find problem inside solution, we give them and they will see problem. If you give a rich man problem, we open point to find solution. Tell us solution. We find solution is a problem. So the problem is only you only watch what you want. Tell anyone neighbor. Watch what you want. Watch only positive things. Leave negative alone. Why is your problem always negative? You a millionaire, you want to succeed, by do this, you say you need to say, what if it not happen? Okay, what if it not happen for you? It happen to you, but it happened to you. And the person happened to you. So why must you be always looking? Because you are not convinced that is the will of God for your life. Let me show you the will of God for your life to close the class. Let's go to the number 5. Let me settle that thing for you. So after today's class, if you leave this class and go back and start thinking that thing that guy is talking, I don't understand. So I told you that this part of the world, whenever I talk to people in this part of the world, I only find one common ground. Because if we don't have a common ground, then we don't have discussion. So we must put a strong foundation